Welcome back. Today I have done something a little different. I know I'm saying that quite a lot lately. I think when the new year comes around, we'll go back to a sort of a more standard format, with full lineups and playing full games and that kind of thing. But I've wanted to do a couple of different things lately. Whether it be trying to show how you can be a support sniper on the larger maps, to being to moving in unison with your team to try and get wins out. And then we have this format today where I got the idea from that new pack that Gaijin introduced, where you're getting 3 vehicles in a pack. I thought it would be a good idea to do a Western Front battle between the Panther and the Jumbo Sherman, the 75, which is the one we are currently in. I just wanted to show the differences between the two, how I feel about them, why I think you should give these two a go, and see. I'd love to get your feedback as well to see whether you agree, or if you have a different opinion to myself, essentially. So getting into the Jumbo 75, you're going to see I'm going to start pushing up kind of this more towards the right-hand side. I noticed that's where most of our team is going, so I want to support them. I am heavy armor, and it's going to benefit our team the best if I am closer to the front line than a lot of my teammates are. I can see there's an M4A3, I believe it is, on the left-hand side pushing through, so I move more to the right. In hopes that I can try and help just spread out our forces a little bit. I also wanted to, while we're kind of getting into this video, I wanted to discuss something very briefly. I want to make a larger video about it in the future. I'm kind of doing a bit of research on that at the moment. But battle rating, I wanted to go over it. You'll see at the start of the video, if you want to go back to it, you'll see that the SP cost for this vehicle was 160. That means I'm in a full down tier. And essentially what that means is this vehicle's BR is like 5.3 or something. That means I'm facing 4.3 vehicles. Not fully. There is going to be a majority of 4.3 all the way up to 5.3 if that is the BR bracket. And on one of my older videos, I say older like I'm doing this with years, but on one of the older videos, I'll say it again, there was someone mentioning about, it was in the Tiger H1 video actually, and they were saying about, oh, could you show what it's like in a full up tier, and I just kind of explained that it's basically the same experience. The reason that it's a full down tier, most times you're going to see videos with myself, or you'll often see it's 130, which is my BR, with my BR, but my BR being the highest BR in the game. What I mean by that is it's 120 or 130. 130 would be more preferable to you. 120 would mean that other tanks would be seeing 130, which means they are the more preferable BR. At least that's what I understand of it, but we'll go into that deeper in the future. But the point I was trying to make back then, and I think this is a good opportunity to go over it now with the Jumbo. I think if you go and you look at most YouTubers out there, it is mostly down tiers that they're showing as well. It's only natural to be seeing your best games when you're seeing weaker vehicles. It would be completely unreasonable to expect fantastic games in full up tiers. The technology advantage in higher BRs is drastic. Like if I compare an 8.0 to a 9.0 vehicle, the difference is night and day. Whereas down at these lower BRs, the biggest difference usually is like mobility or armor or their gun. And it's stuff that you can usually get over. The Jumbo, I feel, is a great example for this, because as I look at the T14, very similar vehicles. The T14 has a glaring weak spot, but it has a better gun than this Jumbo. So it's well able to compete with the Jumbo, in my opinion. I would actually feel more comfortable in the T14. Purely because the T14, I know where its weak spot is. I know its weaknesses. It's got a better gun. Every time I shot something in the T14, I felt like it was either not penetrating or it was dying. I was having, as you saw with the IS-1 or the KV, whatever it was, that the T14 killed there a second ago. The biggest problem with the Jumbo, in my opinion, is explosive filler doesn't seem to do anything an awful lot of the time. We obliterated that Ostwin too, but a lot of games before this, I wasn't getting I was either over penetrating, or if the shell went off, it wasn't doing anything. You know, something along those lines. And it's nice to, it would be a lot nicer if I didn't have to deal with that, is the point that I'm kind of making. It's the downfall for me with the Jumbo, as someone that started this game knowing how well spoken of the Shermans are and expecting a lot out of them. Didn't enjoy any of the Shermans in the game, really, besides maybe the 105, which was like a 2.7. It was well under the yard. But seeing a heavy version of the Sherman with the 75, thought it was going to be a very enjoyable experience, and seeing that what you experience the whole way up, where the Shermans are quite good, and then coming to this and it's not really. It's very lackluster. I often have to carry APCR with me to deal with a Panther, or to deal with, you know, some heavily armored tanks, IS-1s, KVs, because the shell is so lacking. Like, that shot would have killed that M4A176 every day of the week in any other vehicle, but I couldn't pen with this. Like, there's very low armor on the front of that, and at that angle I felt like I probably should have penetrated. Maybe it was a bit unfortunate, but yeah, it's one of those vehicles that I don't feel comfortable playing, and I would love to hear your feedback on it, to see what well, maybe you do something differently, maybe you play it different, maybe you see something that I'm doing that you wouldn't do, or maybe you're seeing something that I'm doing that you wouldn't have thought of before, but maybe my shot placement is bad. That's the whole idea behind these videos anyways, so that we can be learning from each other and benefiting each other. Like, if you were watching the video the whole way through, you would have noticed that I kept pushing up with a line of teammates. We started in that Alpha, and we started moving over towards Bravo to give support to my teammates on the left-hand side, and then started pushing towards the spawn with 2 friendlies, and we have 2 more on the right-hand side, which are out of sight on the screen. And, you know, that's how you win games. So, you know, this is this was a good game to show what the Jumbo can do to an extent, as we get a lovely shot in a KV-1C. But in another sense, it's lackluster because it's only 6 kills. It's a perplexing one. I would have loved to have had a really good game in this vehicle, but I wasn't able to. It was a really tough experience. Plus, I was looking specifically for a winter map. I did have better games on other maps, but yeah. Anyway, moving into the Panther. After that bad experience out of the way, moving into the Panther D. I'm not going to lie, I love the Panther. The biggest downfall for me is the reverse. I think everything else about the Panther is fantastic, but it really suffers from the T72 problem, which is what I like to call it. The T72 is a fantastic vehicle, but again, reverse is nightmare. And it's interesting because when you look at it, the Sherman also doesn't have a good reverse, but it's not something that people talk about, which is interesting. Whereas I feel like a lot of the time when you talk about the Panther, the reverse is the glaring weakness, because the Panther doesn't have any other weaknesses really. The turret traversal is very poor on the Panther D. It is basically a tank destroyer, which can move its turret just very, very slowly. Very similar to the M10 really. But we are going to make it work to our advantage in this game. I do spawn this vehicle twice. It is a good vehicle. I do get overly aggressive. I do think that I'm quite literally unkillable at one point, I believe. Swedish vehicles like this are oftentimes one of the biggest problems for this, for a lot of tanks at these cars, I think, because the Swedish vehicles can depress their guns so much, and they have such low armor that your round just goes straight through them. It just doesn't detonate ever. I have a love-hate relationship with those Swedish vehicles. I don't like playing them, but I also don't like facing them. We're going to notice though on our right hand side that there's a T14, and not this guy, he's only an M41, I believe. But there's a T14 on our right hand side doing a lot of damage to my teammates that I'm after realizing now, and trying to move out to try and get a shot on him before he eventually goes over to probably murder everybody. And he's going to be a focal point for a lot of this game. His name is Ramlan or Ramazan or Ramish. A very weird bounce there as well. But that's going to get his attention a little bit, and he runs into cover. And I'm going to take that opportunity to push him back towards the Swedish. And I'm going to hope that that T14 remembers me, rather than just pushes towards the towards our. I want that T14 to come back around. So pushing up, I want to deal with this Swedish vehicle. I don't want to be caught in the middle of two vehicles. He's waiting for me. I just think, okay, I'm just going to push him. I know those Swedish vehicles don't have the greatest penetration, so I can afford to push around that corner. He's also probably using solid shot, so even easier. And you can see just the confidence difference between the Jumbo and the Panther is night and day. I feel confident pushing around that corner, whereas there was two instances in that video with the Jumbo where I could have pushed around the corner, but I left the T14 do instead, which says a lot. I mean, a lot of my deaths were pushing around corners where I felt like the side armor and the Jumbo should have been enough, but the biggest problem with the side armor for the Jumbo is once you go under the skirting of it, there is nothing there. It's the same as a normal Jumbo. So it's very, very easy to kill the Jumbo. And to be completely honest, it is very easy to kill the Panther as well. The turret, if you just miss the gun casing, the mantlet itself, it's got very low armor. It's very easy to get rid of. That T14 has come around. I believe it's the same guy. We'll find out here now, because he is in a bit of a predicament. And it is the same guy, Ramish, and down he goes. And he was that was a big kill to get. He was really causing us a lot of grief. If you'd seen where I took the shot at him and seen where my teammates were, he was beelining it for 3 or 4 teammates, so we're probably going to struggle to deal with him. But thanks to him diverting his attention to us, well, you can see the game has quite literally been turned on its head. We now have all 3 caps and are pushing confidently towards the spawn. We're just going to wait here and pick off another vehicle, an Avenger, right? Great vehicle that. If you've not watched the video that I made about the Avenger, I would highly recommend to go and give that one a watch. A very, very fun vehicle to play. Bit of a difficult gun to master. And this is a vehicle you'll probably never see me play. The M6. Probably the worst heavy tank in the game in my opinion. That is rough. It's basically got no armor, and it's just it's not. I've never had a good time with the M6. I have not played the new T1s that they've added in. I don't think I will either. They are just a tough vehicle to play. If anyone has an opinion about it, let me know, and I might give one. I might try one in the future. But yeah, there's another one just going down. They're very unfortunate vehicle, very low armor, and the size of planet. Now this is where I start getting a little bit over aggressive. I start thinking that I am pretty much untouchable. Nice shot there on M24. And we just push a little bit too far forward here. We start turning around to try to start pushing back, and we get shot in the turret. And I realised that I probably have a pace advantage here, and then the bomb came in and I turn away and the gun comes back online, so I start thinking that okay, I could probably make this work, and then very, very unfortunate situation here. I am too low to look over the platform here, but the German is just tall enough to look over it, so we go down. I'm going to take this opportunity here now as well. I know I've been rambling for the whole bloody video, and I will apologize for that. I'm in quite a good form, good humor. It is coming up to Christmas, I suppose it's normal. But I want to wish all of you a very Merry Christmas. I hope you've had a great year. I know it's been a tough year for many. It certainly has been for me. It's been a year of constant downfall, but we pick ourselves up and we bounce back even better. But I hope you have a great new year. I hope everything that you're looking to happen in the new year comes true. And I hope we have a good new year on the channel as well. I hope you're looking forward to what's to come. You know, there's going to be a lot. I'm not going to lie, it's going to be an awful lot of videos in the works. We're going to be bigger and better in the new year, and I really don't know what to say in these, but yeah. Look, I hope you have a great Christmas. I hope you get to spend some time with your family, and I hope you have a great New Year. That's basically finishing up the video though. The Panther. This was a 9-kill game. I'm not sure how many I'm at currently. I have not been counting. I killed this guy. Yeah, he gets the treatment. Poor fella. But yeah, we pretty much won this game. But you could see the difference between the two videos, right? I mean, the Jumbo didn't really need to do a whole lot. The team was fantastic. I killed a couple of different vehicles, but I feel like it made no difference. The repair on the T14 and then the joint push towards the KV or IS, whatever it was probably the most effective part of that video. But that isn't really showing what the vehicle can do. I don't know why I'm running away here. I guess I'm trying to get into it. Yeah, I suppose thinking about it now, I'm getting into a different position to get a different angle on that vehicle, which actually is quite a smart thing to do. He's going to be expecting me to be sitting there waiting for him. I can see the exhaust from the guy. And there he is running. Very unfortunate that I moved. But you can see the difference. The Panther was able to do everything itself. I haven't really worked with a teammate here. The Panther isn't one of those vehicles, in my opinion. It kind of does better on its own. It is one of those, you can sit it on a hill and it can do sniping for the whole game. It can work as a heavy tank. It's a very, very good vehicle. Whereas I don't feel the jump mode is that. But I would be very interested to hear your opinions in the comment section. Thumbs up if you liked the video. Thumbs down if you didn't. I appreciate any feedback. And if you're not subscribed already, please do. It would be the best Christmas present. I look forward to seeing you in the new year. Have a great Christmas. We'll catch you in the next one. I am going to take a week or two off for Christmas. I'll be back in the new year. Just keep an eye out for the video. I will probably post on Twitter to let you know as well. Catch you in the next one.